I find penguins are more eager to put missiles on their backs, providing you first give them a good motivational speech. Here's your look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, The Batman Returns, Commando Penguins. The sequel to Batman pits the Cape Crusader against the most fiendish opponents yet, the evil Penguin and the sinious and mysterious Catwoman. What's a guy got to do around here to get some penguin porridge? Certainly, though, looking at the size class between the three and how they differ from one another, it does kind of remind me of the Three Bears. Though Goldilocks is nowhere to be found, instead of actually sharing porridge and chairs, they want to blow up a city. Still, though, let's push forward. We're going to grab the tape measure. We're going to measure off first Papa Penguin, then Mama Penguin, then Chilly Willy, the wee little penguin, and see how different they are in sizes. Then, of course, we'll also bring in the Batman Returns figures that we've looked at thus far. Starting though first with the Papa Penguin is going to stand at 4¼ inches in height. Translating though to a penguin, that's about 11.5 centimeters tall. Then to Mama, who's actually a lot shorter than Papa. She's actually in fact going to be only 3.5 inches in height, or about 9 centimeters tall. And then tiny little penguin, the wee little baby, is going to be only about 2.5 inches in height, or roughly about 6.5 centimeters tall. Wrapping up for the end of this week, and what's left of our Batman Returns reviews, at least for now, here's what the penguins look like along with Batman. Batman, though, had to avoid them, obviously, with his bat ski boat. I do hope at some point we're eventually going to be getting that as a vehicle. I would definitely be interested in that. I'd also be interested in clearly the Catwoman. I think she so far has been the standout figure from the set. I know they're kind of all getting cut off because I, again, had to focus more of my attention on getting the penguins all in frame, and unfortunately they all get their heads kind of cut off. Speaking of heads getting cut off, how's that for a segment? We also had a look at a very disappointing Max Schreck. Not so much disappointing for the fact that the figure does have a good-looking likeness, but more for the fact that his head fell off frequently. If you saw the review, you know. And in the know, we also had, of course, a look at the Penguin. Now, there's two versions of Penguin. We've already kind of established that. If this Penguin can actually get a chance to stand, this is the one that kind of moors out on city streets, wanting to be a mayor, wanting to find his birthright. There's also the sewer-dwelling Penguin that's going to come included, as well his rubber ducky car. What's rather interesting, though, is if you get the chance to get the rubber duck car, that penguin does seem like he's missing a jacket. Don't worry, though. It comes included with the Penguin Commandos. Assembly for the penguin's missiles are minor and manageable. But first things first, they three come included with a trading card. The bat, the cat, and the penguin are represented again in the poster art featured on the front. By now, though, we've culminated about 5 of these cards, and they all look the same. The only thing that is different between all of them is the image that you see on the top corner. So we had Max Schreck, we had Catwoman, Penguin, right? Yeah. We had Batman, and now we have the Penguin Commandos. I keep calling them the Penguin Commandos. What's wrong with me? It says Commando Penguins, but nothing at all is changed, certainly when it comes to the read-ups. Now, I wouldn't want to take the time. I'm not enlisting my help as services for McFarlane Toys. I don't want to be the guy that does all the work of coming up with these detailed descriptions on the back of the cards. But at the very least, though, I really wish, though, that all the read-ups were different from one another and not just a synopsis of the movie itself. Boy, oh boy, 5 cards. I'm sure, though, when we eventually have a look at the rubber duck car, I'm sure, though, that's also going to come included with a card, too. Let's move that for right now out of the way. What's also kind of funny, too, about the Penguin Commandos is that they come included with the jacket for Penguin. Not so much that that's the funny thing, but if you open up the jacket, on the inside, we have a cardboard standee. I got to find a place for this. A little standee of the Penguin. So what you basically do is just have to pull these off. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is that with this being cardboard, I don't really want to damage this. I want to find a place, to put this. Can I have them just sort of resting in the back? It's almost like a family photo, where a family member can't attend a photography shoot, so they sort of have to get a stand-in. This is basically like Penguin just isn't available at the time that all the 3 penguins want to get maybe a Christmas shoot. They want to hand around their cards for the Christmas season. Penguin's not available, so they get themselves a cardboard standee. That's awesome. The standee, by the way, is only printed on one side, though, so don't get so excited at the fact that you're going to be able to see a double image of the penguin, and that he's also missing his arms. This is also, I'm sure, an image that they probably used for advertising or the initial construction of that other said penguin. I gotta, though, hold on to that. Let's move that off to the side. Penguins, though, like I said, his jacket is more the jacket that we see kind of in the sewer, where he's got the furry collar. He's got now black instead of the original gray. Here's the original Penguin. I'm just going to use this one for the stand-in until, of course, we open up that vehicle. To get this on, though, the Penguin, I'm going to just sort of slide this down his sleeves. Take that off altogether. Take the new jacket. What I also really like about this jacket, it does have that kind of collar piece that goes across his shoulders. And we'll just get his arms in there. I would only just be rinsing and repeating the steps when we eventually get that other penguin. But let's get that on there. There we go. I know it's a little big on the back, but other than that, I mean, that's a nice looking jacket. I almost even feel like I like this jacket more than the gray jacket. But again, I'm going to hold reservations for this and have it displayed with the other penguin. But just to show you guys, though, it does come included with this. It is, yeah, I know, a little big on the back, but they probably may have been able to make that a little bit shorter than what it actually is. But at least, though, we have ourselves a penguin with another jacket, because the other one isn't going to come with that. Let's move that off to the side. Now, I did say already, minor assembly with all the missiles. The missiles, unfortunately, disappointing, don't remove from the stands, so you can't actually have them firing off in the sky. They do plug onto the back, and they plug in where you already know which missile is going to go with which penguin. It's sort of just go by size alone. So you have a little baby missile, right? It's going to go with this one. Then you have like a medium-sized penguin missile. It's going to go with the one in the middle. And then you have the larger missile, like the largest man gets the largest pork chop. It's SCTV. But again, like the missiles themselves, can they really stand on their own? They can. So, if you don't want to really necessarily have them strapped on the back of an animal because you care so much about penguins, you can just actually have them standing on their own. If you do want to get them on the back of the penguins, they all sort of have their own unique shape. I mean, also the length there too. So you'll know there's no real way. Like you could get like the little baby penguins missile on the back of Mama. Maybe you could. I mean, I guess it really would work okay, but you wouldn't be able to do the opposite. The length of this clearly isn't going to fit the back of this. So there's no way you can plug that and mistake those two. I guess maybe before we actually put the missiles on the backs of the penguins, we'll kind of move those all out of the way. I want to kind of say that right away, I'm a little disappointed that none of these penguins do have any posability. What they're doing right now is what they're going to continue to do when you have these guys on the shelf. I hate to be, though, the bearer of the bad news. The bad news is more so to me for anything else. Unfortunately, though, I did break a piece. There is, at the very top right here, a little satellite dish. I don't even know where it is right now. When I went to take the penguin and move it around, I put my finger down on it accidentally, and I snapped. Oh, Butterfingers me. I ended up snapping. There was a little saucer dish that was on the top of this. I couldn't even find it. Like, if I at least found it, I could have pretended that I just glued it in place, and it was that whole way. The whole time it looked like that getting out of the packaging. But I wasn't going to lie to you guys. And second of all, I can't even find the satellite dish either. But it's supposed to plug on the back. I think it's supposed to go like right here, because that looks like it's a little discolored from everything else that's around it. Unfortunately, though, again, like there's no posability on these penguins. You can't move their arms. The arms themselves, sort of, like this one does. I guess that's not fair. This one does actually move, and I guess all the other penguins do have to some extent. No, it's the baby penguin. The baby penguin, I don't think is really the one that does move. It's the mama penguin. No, that one doesn't move either. It's only really the papa penguin that does any little bit of movement. So there's something, but I kind of really wish, though, that the rest of the penguins could also have something else that they could rotate. I understand that this would probably be a little harder to kind of turn, but you would think, though, that with this being a very obvious way to hide the joint for the head, you could easily have had that be head articulation. But maybe because, again, like that little saucer disc would be so easy to break, like what this guy did, maybe they chose that's the reason why they didn't end up having any head articulation on these figures. But to back myself back just a little bit, there is actually posability on the wings, though, of the papa penguin. But again, like if you're looking at the mama penguin, those seem like very permanently in place. And again, like even baby penguin, even though they stick out a little bit further, no, there's nothing at all you can actually, oh, maybe. No, I think that's the sign that's telling me, don't bend it. You're only going to break it. Detail-wise, I mean, they look good. Sort of as exciting as this may be to actually have armored up penguins. I think that's all been our hopes and dreams this whole time. Maybe I'm the only one. Am I the only one that really wanted armored penguins? Okay, apparently I'm the only one. While I do really like the look of these, I hope at some point that we actually get ourselves some regular penguins. Just little, like little cute penguins that could be displayed along with penguin. Maybe like the larger emperor ones that can actually carry. I don't know how do they manage to kind of hook his arms at the end of the movie when they're sliding him down to his watery grave. They sort of just like hook onto him and then they just walk above him. I mean, clearly it's just people dressed as penguins. But I would love maybe if they could release at some point just a little penguin pack. Call it that, a penguin pack. Smaller little penguins, medium-sized penguins. I mean, I don't know how many of these things they'd be able to fit inside of one packaging, but give us just a regular set of penguins. Detail-wise, though, I mean, they look really good. This one's got a little like laser scope on the side of his face. I don't know if that really improves anything for these penguins. I don't know really why these guys are voluntarily sacrificing their lives for a penguin. Even for the fact that in his motivational speech, he says, many of you won't come back. I think by now, if I was one of those penguins, I'd be kind of walking back, leaving the room quickly. Well, as quickly, though, as a little penguin could be, he'd be like waddling back and forth. But if you did want to attach this, though, onto the back, you can see, though, that the missile on this one is very uniquely shaped. It's shaped like a capital T. This slots into the back, though, of the Penguin. We'll kind of just, like, plug it in just like that. And again, like, the missiles aren't removable. I kind of wish in a way that they could have made them removable, or maybe added like little smoke effects on the bottom of this, just something. But again, like, for what the fact is that we are getting ourselves like Commando penguins, it's still pretty cool. Mama penguin, or the little medium-sized penguin, again, we'll just follow suit with that. This little slot, this little piece of plastic slots into the back of the body there, and just does like that. I guess maybe while we're at it too, let's just show you guys what this one looks like. Nice silver overall, though, for the collar piece down below there in the front chest. Is that really going to protect the penguin anyways? Apparently it does. This one holds, I mean, this one, they all kind of stand pretty well, except for the little baby penguin. I've noticed, though, that when you get the missile on the back of its body, it wants to lean backwards. But at least one thing it benefits from is having a big tail piece on the back, so it's not going to fall over on you. Speaking, though, of the baby penguin, get a closer look at that one. This one is probably my favorite, even though it is the smallest of the three. Again, you got some really nice silver added in there. I think the face sculpt on this one is really good too. Now, it does have, again, like some fragile pieces, but nowhere near the fragility of the little saucer disc that was on the top of that one. This one has these little antennas, but with them being a little thicker like this, I think there's less likelihood. Even do what I'm doing right now, which is probably even a bad idea. Yeah, I don't think these are going to break off as easily. As easily, says the guy that already broken off one piece. No, again, no posability on this one. Nothing on the arms. Again, it kind of misleads you to think that you can rotate something on the arms, but there's nothing. Nada. All in all, though, nice looking penguins. Would I consider doubling them up, maybe getting a second set of these? Maybe not at the price that they're selling these things for. I mean, again, like if you're trying to get a Penguin Commando with a Commando Penguins, I keep mixing those two names around. If you're looking to get, though, the Commander Penguins, expect probably to pay about like $80 to $100 for these. Seriously, like I hope, though, the prices are going to start to diminish a little bit, because again, like, these would be great to army build. Again, let's bring in the other examples, the other figures that we've already had a look at. All unfortunately get cutting off in the heads. Max Shrek, there's Catwoman. Where's the Batman? Batman's somewhere over here. You know, speaking of Batman too, I'm wondering, I hope, though, at some point we're also going to be getting us another Batman. Maybe the Batman does have maybe the non-eyeshadowed eyes, maybe, or the one that has the peeled off, so we see Bruce Wayne's head. What are you, Bruce Wayne? What are you doing looking like Batman? It is Batman. Nice overall looking figures. Let's maybe put Batman in the back. Batman seems to be the tallest figure anyway, so let's just put him back in the, well, of course, the Penguin's front and center. Again, I like the look of the Penguins. I'm not happy, though, unfortunately, that I had to break the top saucer section, a little saucer disc that was on the top of mine. Let that, though, be a cautionary tale for anybody that's looking to get the Commandos for themselves. Just, again, be careful on this one more than anything else. The other two seem to be okay. This one is really the one that you're going to have to really be worrying about. That little, I don't even know where it is. I'm looking on the floor right now. No, is that it? No, that's not it. That's just I don't know what that is. That's just a little piece of plastic. It's a piece of plastic, though, I'm certainly missing. If I can find it, I'm going to glue it back onto the head, but again, the likelihood of finding a piece that small is probably slim to none. Penguin Commandos, Commando Penguins certainly are, you know, again, a nice filling in piece, especially if you already have yourself a penguin. You can have the other penguins all displayed around them. I just wish that, again, the price wasn't as high as it was, because getting these guys and army building them certainly would be an idea that I think many collectors have in their minds right now. Well, they may not punish the citizens of Gotham City, but they certainly will punish your wallet if you're looking to track down a set for yourself. I was able to at least get this one for a pretty decent price, but I, though, have seen the Commando Penguins going online for anywhere from $85 to $110. Ouch. Considering, though, that you're getting three essentially staction penguins, with really one exception, the larger penguin does have at least arm posability. All the other ones essentially are just going to be statued pieces that are going to be displayed alongside Penguin. One thing that I do think that McFarlane did well was that they also included the jacket for a penguin that may then be obviously one that you're going to have to get separately, but it then at least gives you a reason. Well, you know, if I don't have a penguin yet for this jacket, like this is something you're going to be saying to yourself, I don't have that penguin yet. However, though, I was kind of on the fence to whether I wanted to get that rubber duck car that he drives. Well, you know, seeing as now that I've spent the money to get the Commando Penguins, and seeing that it does also come included with the jacket and that cardboard standee, which is awesome, I think I might just invest now to get that vehicle, because it's also going to come included with that Penguin. This is at least my mindset that I had, and why we're also going to be looking at that one coming up this week as well. Well, maybe not this week, because we're kind of wrapping up things right now for review-wise in Batman Returns, but it will be something, though, that we will be looking at in the immediate future. In the future, though, I do hope that plans, McFarlane Toys maybe does do another penguin pack, maybe with slightly different ones, maybe like the Emperor penguins that could come included with that gross-looking penguin that we see at the end of the movie where he's sort of got like that toxic waste kind of oozing out of his mouth. Maybe that could be something that they could release, double up, maybe another penguin, and then maybe include maybe the like the little parasol containers. Maybe could they include like the umbrellas? Or one other idea I also had too is like if they release another penguin pack, that could then be the chance to throw in things like the arm that he finds, the one that he gives to Max Schreck at the beginning of the video, and then again maybe you could include like the different parasols, the one that had like the little baby nursery toys hanging down, and maybe then the umbrella helicopter. That would be also something that maybe they could do as a future release down the road. Not getting, though, ahead of ourselves. Again, if this one is one that you guys are interested to get, I would certainly say try to find one for a decent price. Because, again, I know right now a lot of people are trying to get their hands on these ones. And because of that, the prices of these have started to skyrocket. Almost as skyrocketing as the backpack missiles. How would he, first of all, love his penguins, and love them, though, enough that he's willing to make them sacrifice themselves just in favor of getting revenge back at Gotham City? That sounds like a guy that doesn't love penguins. I think, personally, the guy behind the camera, if I don't mind me saying it myself, I think this guy loves penguins more than Danny DeVito's penguin. I'm just saying that. What do you guys, though, think of the penguin or Commando penguins? How many times have I done that in this review? Let me know what you guys think of them down below in the comment section. Have you guys picked these up for yourself, or are these ones that are currently on your radar? If you guys did also, by the way, enjoy this video, you can do it a solid and throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I certainly hope so. We're coming near the end of the week, by the way, so, I mean, there's probably not going to be any more Batman Returns coming your way, but there will be more, perhaps, in the immediate future. I hope you guys are going to be coming back for those. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.